This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5, is that I came across this video brought to you by ABC, where they reported the Surgeon General, who's reports, he's a medical doctor too, okay? And he reports on the conditions and welfare of the people dwelling here in America, which is known as Babylon in the scriptures. And of course, he came out and said that the ones that are being affected the most by this quote-unquote COVID-19, which is now coming out to be a fabricated hoax, and they're using COVID-19 to disguise all the other diseases that's already affecting the Israelites, us Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether it be diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, asthma. But of course, Esau needs to set a narrative, set a tone, so he's slapping COVID-19 on all these diseases that our people already have. But the point is, this general surgeon, Jerome Adams, he comes out and he lays it down. Who suffers the most? All right? Who is hurting the most from this pandemic? It's you, Jakes. All right? It's the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that's why I brought out Zechariah 11, verse 5, is because Esau Edom refuses to acknowledge what he's done to the children of Israel. And then you leaders of our people, you so-called leaders like Jerome Adams, you don't want to get to the root cause, that it's this devil, all right, Esau Edom, that's doing this to us. But let us play out, because I have articles, that's the spirit the Lord always put upon me. Go get articles that Esau has wrote himself, that has done the statistics, because Scripture says they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. So let's first watch this.
And you've heard the stats in New York City. Hispanics represent the majority of deaths. In Milwaukee County, blacks are 25% of the population, but almost 50% of the cases and 75% of the deaths. So what's going on? Well, it's alarming, but it's not surprising that people of color have a greater burden of chronic health conditions. African Americans and Native Americans, develop high blood pressure at much younger ages. It's less likely to be under control and does greater harm to their organs. Puerto Ricans have higher rates of asthma, and black boys are 3 times as likely to die of asthma as their white counterparts.
All right, so that's right there. All right, Surgeon General Jerome Adams literally, called out all the diseases, all these ailments that the children of Israel have. He named so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. High blood pressure, asthma. But why? Well, let's start with the air. Let's start with the pollution. Because Jerome Adams, yeah, our people are being affected by this, but why is this happening? What is the cause? This is from the Washington Post. It says whites, but we live in 2020. You so-called white people and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you should know already about the Hebrew Israelites. You should know by now the nations that we constantly always bring out on the highways and byways. So I'm just going to say it. Edomites are mainly to blame for air pollution, but Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, which is Israel, bear the burden, says a new study. Right. So who causes the most pollution? The Edomites, the devil, the so-called white man. And our people are affected by it. It says air pollution, the leading environmental cause of death worldwide, reflects the stark racial inequalities of American life. In the United States, the problem is disproportionately caused by the Edomite majority, but its consequences are suffered mainly by Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, the Israelites, the children of Israel. That is the finding of a new study about 5 years in the making. So this has been going on, okay? This study's been going on way before COVID-19. Published Monday in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. The National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. That's very credible. This ain't just somebody, Joe Blow off the street coming up with this study. The results illuminate the fault lines of the lethal environmental danger, which is inseparable from the threat of climate change and responsible for more deaths globally each year than automobile accidents. Wow. So yeah, let's read this again, because I saw this this speech by Kuhn Jerome, Surgeon General, Jerome Adams, and he is a coon. He's a sellout. Okay, he knows who's causing the air pollution. All right, but he's an insider. Okay, he's juiced in. But this is the reason why Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And you so-called white people, you don't hold yourselves guilty. All right, for all the stuff that you've done to our people. Okay, notice he named Native Americans. He named Hispanics. He even said so-called Puerto Ricans. And he named so-called blacks. Why those specific races? Well, because the elite know, the Illuminati know, we're the children of Israel. But the problem is that the whole world is acknowledging that we're the Lord's chosen people. And that's why the Lord is going to bring heavy judgment. All of this is judgment. The Lord is bringing the wrath. Okay? Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Right, because you gotten rich off our demise. Off our oppression. And their own shepherds pitting them out. Right, because people, coons like Surgeon General Jerome Adams, who's juiced in, says, well, look, let's watch what he says. Check this out.
As a matter of fact, I've been carrying around an inhaler in my pocket for 40 years out of fear of having a fatal asthma attack.
You would think, okay, he'll say, yeah, and the reason why I'm carrying this is because you Caucasians are the ones polluting the air the most. And now I can't breathe. No, he won't say that. All right? I'm carrying asthma. And that's why he's juiced in, because he's like, if I can't beat him, I'll join him. All right? He's sold out. And just like the rest of you celebrities, because you all know this. You all know this. All you celebrities, all you sports players, all you rappers, okay? That's why you're working so hard to hit a jump shot to get a rap deal, because you know the oppression that's going on in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities. And once you make it, you ain't got it. Now that you have a platform, all right, you just going along with what the Illuminati says. With these so-called white people, Esau, Edom, all right, the elites, the wicked, okay? Continue on.
It doesn't matter if you look fit, if you look young, you are still at risk for getting and spreading and dying from coronavirus. The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19, and is possibly, in fact, likely that the burden of social ills is also contributing.
Social ills, what's he's talking about? Okay? Another article, NPR. Forget wealth and neighborhood. The racial income gap persists. So we're not only are we being poisoned in the air, all right, we also there's racial inequality, all right. So we can't even get out of the barrios and the ghettos, okay. A new study conducted by researchers at Stanford, Harvard, and the Census Bureau. I mean, those are credible sources. The Census Bureau, that's part of the federal government. Didn't we all have to do a census in 2020? Finds that in 99% of neighborhoods in the United States, Israelite boys, let's say that, earn less in adulthood than Edomite boys who come from similar social economic backgrounds, right? So even if they were born in the same poverty, okay, because there are areas where Edomites have poverty, okay. Look, the Midwest. You can look at the Midwest. Guess what? The Edomites still make more money because all he has to do is get in a suit and tie. This undermines the widely held belief that class, not race, is the most fundamental predictor of economic outcomes for children in the U.S. Right? Because, hey, we always say this: the children of Israel, first fired, last hired. Right? Look what happened in this pandemic, so-called COVID-19. Who got hit the most? Who got laid off the most? So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. There's a plethora of information on that. I don't need to get it. Go Google it. Because they're the children of Israel. And because it's you Edomites that have been doing this, all right? This is how you play a game, man. All right? This is warfare. And you don't have to shoot us. All right? You could do it economically. The study looked at racial disparities in income over generations by looking at identified data from 20 million U.S. children and their parents. It tracked outcomes for Northern Kingdom, Edomites, Moab, okay, Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom, because Gad and Reuben are part of the Northern Kingdom, okay? Gad are the so-called Native Americans. Nathaniel Hendren, who co-authored the study, told NPR's Leah Donnella that that Southern and Northern Kingdom children have the lowest rates of upward economic mobility. Edomites and Moabites came out at the top, he said. For Moabites, and not just Moabites, Japhites, because they link that all in there. They also link in Ammonites, okay? That's the so-called Asian community. And Edomite children, we find very similar process of mobility. For Northern Kingdom, we see slightly lower incomes for children at that same level of parent income, right? Because we're the ones, okay, at the bottom, all right? And these Edomites and these heathens know that. Psalms 83. Let's get that real quickly before I go any further. Psalms 83. All these heathens are against us, starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, so we have an economic warfare against us. The air is pollution. The air is polluted because of these Edomites. That's the Washington Post, by the way. I didn't make that up. I don't have the money or power or resource to even go into that type of study. This is all done by Edomites making their own tongue fall upon themselves. Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O power, Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O most high power, Yahweh. Verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Right? Who hates us? Start with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. That's why there's an economic warfare against us. That's why the air is polluted in our neighborhoods. All right? They hate us. 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right? They. So it ain't just the Edomites. 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? But guess what? If you're spiritual and you see all the atrocities happening to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Americans, you will know that we're the children of Israel. Because this ain't happening to no other nation dwelling here in America. 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Right? Meaning there's a council. There is a partnership. There is a cooperation against the children of Israel. 6, the tabernacles of Edom, that's the so-called white people, and the Israelites, the Arabs, Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, right, the Ham. 7, Gebel and Ammon, that's the Japanese, and Amalek, that's the so-called wannabe us, the so-called Jewish, the JJs. The Philistines, Hamites, and inhabitants of Tyre, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go any further. So, A, it's clearly there is an agenda against us, and all these heathens are Confederate and know about it. So, that's the reason why. Continue on.
Social distancing and teleworking, we know, are critical, and you've heard Dr. Brooks and Dr. Fauci talk about how they prevent the spread of coronavirus. Yet only 1 in 5 African Americans and 1 in 6 Hispanics has a job that lets them work from home.
Right. Our people are in the hospitality jobs field. All right. Cooks, servers, dishwashers. Okay. Cutting the lawn. What's it called? Phone call places. I forgot the name that they call it, but a place where there's it's mainly a lot of Judah is in that profession. A call center. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Call centers. And call centers are heavily packed. I used to work at a call center. So that's why. So naturally now, because it's COVID-19, they don't have a job. So now they're on the streets trying to find money, trying to find work while they're exposed to the air pollution. Okay? And what other pollution? He's going to say more. Check this out. And there's an economic disparity, man. Once again.
People of color are more likely to live in densely packed areas and in multi-generational housing situations, which create higher risk for spread of a highly contagious disease like COVID-19. We tell people to wash their hands, but a study showed 30% of the homes on Navajo Nation don't have running water.
Wow. Esau, Edom, you have a lot to pay for, man. That's talking about the so-called Native Americans. All right? And Seminole Indians. So let's get into this article. When it comes to access to clean water, race is still strongest determinant. All right? How do you say that word? The U.S. has 2 water crises, failing infrastructure and a silent one. Race, said report's author. When it comes to access to safe potable water, I think they meant to put portable water. Race is still the strongest determinant. determinant. According to the recent report that found that more than 2 million people in the U.S. and Puerto Rico, hey, that's Ephraim, don't have access to running water and basic indoor plumbing. The human rights nonprofit Dig Deep, alongside with the U.S. Water Alliance, a nonprofit dedicated to promoting investment in water infrastructure, released a new assessment and report this month, closing the water access gap in the United States. George McGraw, who co-wrote the report and is the chief executive of the Dig Deep, deemed the lack of water access a silent crisis, especially in minority communities, Israelite communities. Latino and African American, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom households are twice as likely as Edomite households to lack indoor plumbing, while Northern Kingdom, Gad and Reuben, are 19 times more likely, according to the report. Wow. And this is the land you stole from them, Esau. You have a lot to pay for. You have a lot to pay for. That's why Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slayed him and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. 6, for I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land. Right, that's why the Lord's bringing the judgment. And you think this COVID-19 and this quarantine, this is harsh? Man, get ready for civil unrest, insurrection. Get ready for war, all right? Get ready for race wars. It's going down. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. But lo, I will deliver the men, every one into his neighbor's hand. Right. Get ready for class warfare, race warfare, civil war, and into the hand of his king. Right. Get ready for military troops on the ground. Martial law. Because Donald Trump's going to send them out. And they shall smite the land, and out of their hand I will not deliver them. Right. Because if you ain't part of the elect, you're not getting delivered. Okay? And if you're an Edomite that's dwelling here in America, you're going to perish in a horrible way. Is there any more on this?
So how are they going to do that? In summary, people of color experience both more likely exposure to COVID-19 and increased complications from it. But let me be crystal clear.
That's it. That's it. This jabroni right here, you're done, man. All right? You're gonna be judged too. Because they all know this. They all know this. Okay? Especially these hierarchy of the United States government. Okay? They know the statistics. They know who's suffering the most. They know all this. So what's gonna happen to you Edomites? Well, what did the Lord say? All right, you so-called white people. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. And these articles you saw are examples of him casting off pity. Not to mention the fraternal of the police department constantly gunning us down like dogs in the streets. Okay? And his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. Right. And this is a prime example. Okay? 12. But I will set a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basel. Right? The Lord's going to bring that fire onto you, America, Babylon. Because get ready. Get ready for war. Get ready for World War III. Get ready for when the Lord returns with his chariots, which you idiots like to say so-called UFOs. Now our people. All right, it's high time to wake up out of sleep. It's evident that there's no getting out of this unless you seek the Lord. Period. Isaiah 1:1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. That's talking about the northern and southern kingdom. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. It's evident. You can clearly see that it's us that are the ones suffering. It's us that need salvation, not the so-called white man and these other heathens. In the days of the Isaiah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Ezekiel, kings of Judah. 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Right. And majority of people to this very day in 2020 are still rebelling against the Lord, even though it's clear that the Lord is showing, okay, his hand. He's showing, all right, his power now by first having his men on the highways and byways explaining why this is all happening, going into the Bible, going into history, going into articles like this. But you still refuse to hearken to his prophets. You still want to get caught up in American Babylon philosophy. You still want to listen to the so-called white man and his answers. You still want to listen to Christianity, so on and so forth. That's why the Lord said in verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people does not consider. All this that's happening to us right now in 2020, all this oppression, all the deaths that's happening in our communities, you still don't consider, hey, maybe what I'm doing is not right. Maybe I need to be seeing what the Lord has to say. Maybe I need to be taking heed to what his prophets that he put on the highways and byways have to say. All right? Because you're not considering that you're the children of Israel. You're not considering that the curses are upon you for breaking his law, statutes, and commandments. You're not considering that. And so part of the curses is these Edomites fucking us up. Because, let's get this. Psalms 17 and 13 and 17. No, I got that backwards. Bear with me one moment. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right, and that's why we pray to Yahweh Shema Shai to protect us, because we know who the wicked is. We know who the Lord's sword is, man. The wicked is Esau, Edom. And he's using not only the gun, he's using, economic warfare. He's polluting the water, polluting the air, all right? That's why we seek the Lord. That's why we pray to Yahweh Shema Shai. Our people been suffering, man, because of this devil. And that's because the Lord set him up to do so, because if you don't seek him, then Esau's coming in with that sword. And majority of people still can't get it. You can't get it. Okay? Yeah, there's a big problem. We're dying. We have all these ailments, but you don't understand why this is happening. What is the root cause? It's because you refuse to seek Yahweh Shema Shai, and because of that, our enemies are oppressing us, Esau, Edom. But guess what? The elect are going to understand this, and they're going to turn to Yahweh Shema Shai, and in the process, take this devil down. Because at the end of the day, he did for the affliction. And he doesn't have no pity on us, and he doesn't hold himself not guilty. But you have to understand that. And we have great millstone through the Spirit power Yahweh Shema Shai. We understand that. So let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And I think I'll close out with this. I had a couple of more, but it's the point, man. This is the point. You either seek the Lord or die in a horrible way, because this is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. The Lord has pronounced judgment. He's using these Edomites to do so, all right? And he's using these Edomites to bring forth his wrath upon us, and upon the children of Israel, all right? Upon you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And if you don't seek the Lord, you're not going to be protected and covered, all right? And you Edomites, Yo, this is your last hoorah, so live it up, because after America, there is no more. You will be judged too, okay? Because you for the affliction, and the Lord sees it, all right? So the Lord, you have to be judged for this too. This is Zechariah, before I get into the other one, all right? Because, hey, the Lord, the Yahweh Shem Shai deals with balance. Zechariah 1, and I believe it's 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction. Right. You have for the affliction upon us. Yes, the Lord is displeased with us because we're not seeking him, but you've gone over and beyond your deeds, man. All right. What you're doing now is just horrific. You're smiling, talking about you want to help us, but yet your actions speak otherwise. And so the Lord sees this, okay? And he will put you down. But first, he will use you, all right, to judge 2/3 of our people. So now, this is to our people. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's 2020. All right? You are the children of Israel. And this is what the Lord said to us. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, Yahweh. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? We are special. All right? We are the chosen. And we are above all these people. All right? We are physically strong, mentally strong. Okay? And that's what should make you be spiritual. Like, wait a minute. If we're strong in basketball, football, soccer, baseball, all right, we have strength, okay, unbelievable strength, speed, talent. How the hell are we suffering the most from all these ailments? Because if you're not seeking the Lord, then guess what? He's not going to protect you. You see how that works? You see how that works? 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, right? Because in the beginning, all right, we were few. We were the last nation, okay, to be established. 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with the mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt? Right. Because the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. And he has sworn in that covenant that he will deliver us and redeem us. And he did. He did it first time from Egypt. Okay. When we were when the time of Moses. And he's going to do it again in this time. All right. In spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon, America. And who's the modern day Pharaoh? Esau, Edom. 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy power, he is the most high power, Yahweh, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Right? And who loves the Lord? Okay? The elect. Okay? The children of Israel. That's why in Romans 11 and 7, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right? We have obtained, all right, this truth, this wisdom, understanding of the scriptures. Okay? And we understood that, wait a minute, in order for us to get delivered from the hands of our enemy, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Illuminati, we need to seek the Lord. We need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Because by doing that, okay, we are showing the Lord that we love him. Well, let's get that. Let's get that. That's 1 John 3 and 5. Or is it 1 John 5 and 3? For this is the love of the Most High Power, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Right? So you want to get up out of America. You want to get up out of these conditions. You want to get delivered from the poison water, from the poison air, from the income inequality. You must seek the Lord so we could get delivered. So you could get delivered. And that's what the elect is doing. All right? There is no other way. No, not voting, not protesting, okay? Not taking up arms, okay, is going to stop the madness of Esau, Edom, okay? The Lord has to do this. The Lord has to stop him. And only the elect are going to understand this. And how the elect, what are the elect are going to do so that the Lord can come? They're going to follow his commandments. That's the love they're going to show the Lord. His law, statutes, and commandments. It's very simple. This Bible is not rocket scientists. You do what the Lord says. You follow his law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, the ones that you can keep. You call upon his name in the Hebrew. You understand that you're an Israelite. You're not black. You're not Hispanic. You're not a Native American. You will be saved. Or take part in this death. Really simple. 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you. Back to Deuteronomy 7:7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were, I read that already, Salakia. Jumping down to 10. So these are the them are the elect who are keeping the commandments of the Lord. That's how they're showing love. All right, and that's love right there. But here's to you 2/3, 10. And repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him, and he will repay him to his face. Right, and that's how the Lord is doing it. And how is the Lord doing it? By using Esau, Edom, the wicked, okay, his sword, to put you 2/3 to death. And that's why martial law is coming, okay? Because what this sellout Surgeon General Jerome Adams said, all right, is proof that Donald Trump will have to put in the military for quote unquote helping the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American communities. All right, they're going to bring in the military where we're hit economically the hardest, where the supposed COVID-19 is hitting the most. That's how you know the military is going to be brought in, and that's Jacob's trouble. All right? So if you want to get out from this, you must seek the Lord. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right? We're at the end. This is not letting up. This is the new America. Don't think we're going back to what it was. This is it. And if you can't see it, hey, you're going to partake in the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And he's going to use Edom to do, all right, his bidding. Oh, and you so-called white people, all right, this is it, okay? America ain't going back, okay? The elite, the Illuminati, they want to get rid of a lot of you too. And they're going to set it up that you kill one another and you fight our people, you fight the Israelites when there's civil war and race war, okay? America is going to be a bloodbath. Get used to seeing more harsh conditions, more atrocities, more death. With that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rukah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers and sisters. Lord willing, this was edifying. All right, to the hopeful elect. We're at the end. There's no stopping it. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep fighting. We're almost out of here. The Lord's coming back. We're living in the last days. Shalom and a Baba Ball. Shalom.